Well, welcome back to the Early Edge. We continue our Super Bowl discussion with some picks on some sides, totals, and props early in the process with Larry, Alex, and Mike McClure. Let's start with our favorite side. Again, we have some time to modify these and change them, but what I really want to know, and Mike, I'm going to start with you, is these lines came out. They opened at 3.5 in certain spots. It's 4.5 now at BetMGM. So it got bet up to 5 and then back down to 4.5. It's staying at 4.5 right now. Mike, what do you like in this one?
Yeah, it's staying 4.5. Look, I like the Seattle Seahawks initially on first reaction. Having run my computer numbers here, though, I do have a pretty strong stance towards the Patriots at 4.5. I would make the case that the game should probably just simply sit at 4 and be there. I understand why a 3.5 gets gobbled up. We talk about key numbers all the time. 4 is certainly going to be key here. I keep looking at everything, and it's the Patriots defense that's standing out a lot to me here. I think they're going to be able to get some pressure on Sam Darnold, and that could limit the effectiveness of a guy like JSN. They'll probably have to scheme touches there. They'll probably have to scheme touches and some shots, certainly to Shaheed. But to me, I think this is going to be a competitive game. So I would take the Pats with the 4.5 right now. I think we see a little buying back the other way down to 4.
Alex, this did seem like a lot of points to me as well. Tell me why I'm wrong.
I've been doubting this Seattle Seahawks team all season long, Sia. So I have kind of changed my stance. I am a believer in this Seahawks team. They're just so balanced. I'm so impressed with the coaching staff. I don't think we talk about Mike Macdonald enough. The job Clint Kubiak's done as far as the offense is concerned, extremely impressive as well. They're fairly healthy. They're obviously clicking at the right time. They just kind of feel like a team of destiny to me. I do agree with Mike. This New England defense might be the best individual unit in this game. They have been that good, that impressive. But this Seahawks team is so balanced. They have so many ways to beat you. They play with the lead extremely well. They have a great offensive identity. I've just been so impressed with Seattle. So I'm leaning heavily towards the Seahawks here.
It's interesting because, Larry, I've been down on Seattle as well for most of this year. I liked the Rams yesterday, too. And as close as that game was, and as much as you could make the argument that the Rams could have won that game if potentially they convert the 4th and 4 near the goal line. But at the same time, if Rick Woolen doesn't get that personal foul penalty, this game potentially gets out of hand in some way. So, Larry, talk to me. Are you on the Seattle side or the Pats side?
Well, I want to make clear I'm not locking myself in this early because I need to look into this matchup a little more. But right now, I'm going to lean towards the Seahawks in like a 23-16, 23-17 type game. Have a tremendous amount of respect for both defenses in this matchup. But I just don't see the Patriots doing enough with the way this offense has looked in the postseason. I just don't know how guys are going to get open against the Seahawks secondary. Which is so good, and a front that does not allow you to run. Both teams have great special teams. Both teams have great defenses. I just think the Seahawks have a little bit more on the offensive side.
All right, let's switch gears to the total. Here at BetMGM, we've got a total of 46. Now, you're all on the same play. Mike, I'm going to let you lead the pack, and we'll see if Larry or Alex have anything to add. You're on the under.
Yeah, I'm on the under, see, and I got a relatively big edge. The way I calculate the edge, almost 11% here. I would be shocked if we don't see this number tick down a point or so. I projected at 43.9, so at 46.5, I have that at 57%, which would be minus 135 is what the juice should be on that. So for me, it's a clear under. Again, I think the number should be sitting 44. I think we ultimately probably close 45, 45.5, but I do expect some traffic towards the under as we get closer to kickoff.
Larry, anything to add to the under analysis?
Yeah, except for the Rams, the Seahawks have shut down basically everyone. The only exception being Baker Mayfield early in the season when he had that amazing game in Seattle, 38-35, when he was playing like an MVP. Other than that, go look at their schedule. They have shut down every single team and a lot of very good offenses. Only 2 touchdowns allowed in the last 6 games, not against the Rams. The Rams have the best offense in the league. I think the Patriots also have that great defense that's peaking at the right time. I agree with you, Mike, on the under.
Propstarz, you like the under in this game as well, but what I'd like to do is switch gears to player props because there's an under that you already gave out on SportsLine. You gave it out on the Early Edge Morning Show on the SportsLine YouTube channel. That's every Monday through Friday at 10 in the morning. Talk to me about your favorite player prop so far. It involves an under with Kenneth Walker.
Indeed, Sia. Yeah, I pounced on this the moment this line populated. It's Kenneth Walker's rushing line, under 78.5 rushing yards. It has ticked down a couple of yards, but there's still some meat on the bone here. I just look at this New England defense and the splits with and without Milton Williams are just eye-opening. Without Milton Williams, the Patriots defense was pedestrian, mediocre as far as their rush defense is concerned. With Milton Williams and also Robert Spillane, it has been outstanding. I would even argue the best run defense in the NFL. Not a single running back over 15 games, including the playoffs where Milton Williams appeared this season, was able to eclipse 58 rushing yards. They have shut down everyone they have faced. I've been extremely impressed. They are clicking, firing on all cylinders. They're healthy on defense. I think it's going to be very tough sledding for Kenneth Walker. I think this is a great spot to fade him, specifically isolating the rushing line here. I think this New England front is going to find a lot of success, limiting him, shutting him down. I'm going under 78.5 rushing yards for Kenneth Walker III.
Larry, we go from Seattle's lead back under to the Patriots lead back under.
Yeah, Ramondre's been a workhorse, and he cashed for everyone yesterday, whether you had attempts, whether you had rushing yards. But this matchup against Seattle's elite run defense, I just think it plays better for TreVeyon Henderson to have more of a normal, 50-50 split. Kyren Williams held under 4 yards a carry. He's more of the power plotter like Ramondre. But Blake Corum, with the extra burst, he was the one who was more efficient. I think the only way to penetrate this Seattle rush defense is with the speed guy, with the explosive guy. To me, that's TreVeyon Henderson. I don't think they're going to bang Ramondre's head into that wall of a defensive line more than 10 to 14 times.
Well, Mike, that's a couple of superstar unders that we're going for. So can we find an over anywhere with perhaps checks notes Sam Darnold?
Yeah, how about a Sam Darnold rushing over? Sia, we're not talking yardage, though, here. We're talking attempts. Shout out to the Early Edge chat this morning over on YouTube, kind of asking for some additional plays, got me peeking at lines. Sam Darnold currently available over 2.5 rushing attempts, plus 114. I would be stunned if this isn't sitting 3.5 by the time this game kicks off, keeping in mind kneel downs count as rushing attempts. You look at the last 7 games for Seattle, he's been over this in 5 of 7. The 2 that he was not, they won by over 30 points in one of them and 26 in the other. There was no need to take off and run. This is the ultimate game. The stakes are high. I think it's going to be competitive. I think he does get a kneel down at the end, but I think he has to take off and run at least once. How I see this playing out: 1 scramble attempt, 2 kneel downs. Sam Darnold cashes plus money here, over 2.5 rushing attempts.
Let's talk some first quarter and team total bets here. Mike, I'm going to stick with you, actually. This is a bet that you like to frequent. First quarter, typically unders. You've got a first quarter under here as well.
Yeah, I like first quarter under 9.5. Look, it's everyone's well rested, right? Advantage defense, in my opinion, when you're talking about being well rested. And these two defenses are elite. I think that neither team is going to try and necessarily win the game on the opening drive. So I think we have field position battles. And ultimately, I just think it's a slower mover early. I get why the number is where it is. You'll probably see it trend down and trade at 7.5. Very much the same kind of play in the NFL at 9.5 and 7.5. Still would go under here. I don't think we get a touchdown and another type of score.
A pretty consistent theme here with unders, whether it's the rushing yards or the game total. And Larry, we're talking under team total next.
20.5, such a key number when you talk about team totals. I like the Patriots to stay under that number. You look at what they've done throughout the season. If it's a bad defense, they go off. If it's a mediocre defense, they go off. But now they've faced a few elite defenses in a row, and we've seen Drake May not complete even 56% of his passes, take a ton of sacks. He just doesn't, to me, have the weapons that are going to exploit this Seattle secondary. So I think they could get to 20, keep this game competitive, and maybe even win the game, but getting over that, too tall an order.